Do you guys want to see the sexiest keyboard you've seen in a while? I mean, this thing is spicier than Keira Knightley. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Today we're taking a look at my Harris Digitran terminal keyboard. I say mine a little bit loosely because, well, I'm going to be listing this on my eBay store and I'm going to be parting with it soon. There is a bit of a silver lining though, I gotta say. So do you see this terminal up here in the top? Well, I have one of those, and I have another one of these keyboards. So it makes parting with this one a little bit easier. If you would have seen this one when I first got it, you might have parted with it right then and there. Yeah, it was kind of nasty. This is actually after I had done a bunch of preliminary cleaning because I didn't even want to bring it into my house. It was so bad. Now, it looks pretty good. It's not great, it's not perfect, but it does look pretty good. It's got some cool features like this little three-way toggle switch. If you come around to the back, take a look at this connector here. 25D sub. I mean, this thing really makes you appreciate USB, or even better Bluetooth, right? Taking a look at the bottom, we've got the model number and the serial number. And then I want to draw your attention to these screws here. So take a look at them, and when we open up the case, I'll show you the other side of those because they go to a bolt mod that I had to do on this unit. We'll take a look at that in just a bit as soon as we open this thing up. Let's get to it here. Yeah, that's painfully slow. We're going to have to speed this up. Much better. Well, not too fast though. Remember, there's a ribbon cable in here, so don't just yank this thing open. And also remember, this ribbon cable is from the late 70s or early 80s, so be easy with it. Don't just pull it off there. Kind of give it a little bit of help, kind of wiggle it back and forth. It'll eventually come off, and then you could kind of split this case in half because there's nothing else holding it together. Now that we've got it in its two halves, we'll go ahead and start. Let's go ahead and start with this bottom one first here. You see these nuts here? Yeah. These nuts. So these are the other end of those screws that were part of that bolt mod. Originally this comes with some black or some plastic spacers that are in there, and they just deteriorate over time to where this PCB board is really not even held down. It just flops around in this tray. So you kind of have to do that bolt mod to keep this bottom board affixed to the tray. Take a look at where this was produced. Pretty awesome. We've got a shot of its part number there, the revision number. I'm imagining this is revision 1. And then we've got this speaker here so you can listen to some smooth jams while you're working, right? I'm just kidding. It just would play random beeping sounds like the 80s. There's not much information available about this keyboard. The best place that I have found, as with really any keyboard, is my go-to is Deskthority. And on Deskthority, there's somebody on there, I believe it's Sandrax, who has done a full restoration of one of these and actually made it compliant to USB standards. So he's actually got it running on a new machine. So it's really neat to see this thing working on a new machine. I mean, this is built in the 11th week of 77. So to see this working on something modern is really cool. I'm going to be typing on this at the end. If you want to jump to it, you can. It's at like 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Or just bear with me here. We'll get through this in just a bit if you want to see the rest of this. So we'll take a quick look at this. I wanted to show you these switches here. This is the most interesting part of this because this uses it's a 4-piece switch. You've got the keycap, which isn't seen. Then you have this black plastic here. The keycap goes on that, and then it pushes through that spring. And underneath all this is a capacitive leaf. And this is the part that when you push on that black plastic, it actually comes down and closes the gap in this capacitive leaf, which then changes its capacitance, which then initiates a keystroke. So it's a really neat way to, it feels really incredible. It's a neat way to design a switch. It's totally linear, but it feels really buttery when you type on this thing. I really like it. So looking a bit closer at the keyboard itself, we've got the top connector here. This was what we unplugged from the bottom board. we've got these LEDs. These actually shine through the upper lid and give some notifications. And then that main chip you see there, that Intel 8048, well, that's the MCU. It's the brains behind this unit. It's got quite a bit of history. And speaking of history, look at some of these keycaps. I mean, we've seen things like Print and Home, Clear. They're not too unique, but Blank Blink or Offline, Online, really cool keycaps. Again, if you'd have seen these keycaps when I originally had them, yeah, you didn't even want to touch them. They were so nasty. So I'm really glad with the way it came out. I'm really impressed with this upper lid because it was quite gross as well. You can see that clear plastic. That's what those LEDs shine through. This thing goes together and comes apart really easily. Maybe a bit too easy, because once you get it to this stage here, I mean, it becomes dicey. You've got to really be on your game. If your shirt sleeve grabs one of those capacitive leaves, or you drop a rag on it that you're using to wipe things down, yeah, this thing was produced in, what is this, the 9th week of 81? So yeah, they're not making any more of these. I hear that this Digitran has made a foam and foil version of this. So do me a favor, if you're watching this video, keep your fingers crossed with me that when I pull the terminal and the other keyboard out of storage, that it is not a foam and foil version, because I've done a couple restorations of them, and yeah, I'm not a fan. I do like the way this one feels, though. It is just so nice. So if you guys are interested in seeing the terminal, maybe even seeing the process of me pulling that one out and cleaning it off, kind of powering it up for its first time, maybe letting some smoke out, maybe it powers up, I have no idea. So if you are interested in that, drop a comment, let me know, and then maybe I'll just make that into a video and we can kind of go through that together. So last thing here are these couple screws to put together. Yeah, I've done this a couple times now. Funny story. I guess it's not funny. It's funny now. It wasn't when it happened. I put this whole thing together, put it away, and realized I didn't have that ribbon cable attached. So I had to pull it back apart, then put the ribbon cable in because, well, I couldn't sleep at night if that was not hooked up, right? Well, this was my Harris keyboard that, with most things, we got to say goodbye. So bye, little keyboard, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Gloves are coming off. Bye for now. If Keira Knightley and Keanu Reeves had a keyboard child, this is what it would look like. If you cross Kate Middleton and Keira Knightley, this is what you get. If Chuck Norris was a keyboard, yeah, he would be this.